Y media, tú.
Ya
¿Qué te
estamos
crees?
en vivo,
Oh
cabrón.
shit, we
Hey,
live.
what's up? What's up? No one.
Oh, what's up, Zero? What does that
What's
mean? God
up?
damn it.
A zero. Well, welcome to the show that we leave here in the channel sometimes, and sometimes we don't leave it in the channel.
Sometimes we just fuck. Oh shit. Okay. No, no,
No,
no cursing.
tranquilo,
No
tranquilo.
cursing.
As everybody all the vast group of people that is seeing the live, this is Dr. Jared Vasquez, a certified ringside physician, of course. Alejandro de la Sen, works in a little channel called Peacock TV. We
Oh,
could say
oh, oh.
Peacock, YouTube. It's a
Flexing stuff.
full producer. IMDb credits.
I
We
am
don't
the
want to
credit.
brag.
Check
We don't want to be
check my LinkedIn.
braggadocious. We'd like to welcome Danny M. That's her. Look at that.
Oh, there she
that's
is.
the, that's Danny M.
Texting.
I guarantee you.
Oh yeah.
Uh, that's Danny M. Part of the broadcast team.
At this point, at this point, it's
At this
been
point,
upgraded
at this point.
as a member of El Octágono.
So
Uh,
I wanted to talk about, and this is the clip. I'm going to clip this. This is the clip. I
oh, just
wanted to talk
straight
about
up.
something that everybody was seeing in front of, at the beginning of the fight, the Jon Jones fight, Cyril Gain. If we haven't seen enough videos done on this stuff,
Mhm.
um, we have to talk about specific thing. We have Keith Mike Mikel or Keith Michael. What's up? What's up, Keith?
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Grande Keith.
Um,
Good to see you.
we want to. Everybody saw Jon Jones walk into the cage, and there was tape around his toes, and there was tape around his foot, and the commission made him take that thing off. And everybody's asking the question: why does Jon Jones have his second toe taped to his big toe?
That's right. Me included.
What's the reason? What's the reason for this? Is this a cheating move to have more grip in the canvas? Is this a new injury that he has? Is this a trick for a submission? What's going on? And here is the explanation. Jon Jones, when he fought Chael Sonnen a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, he had a fractured toe. That second toe that he had taped up to his big toe was fractured, and it was actually was almost stopped the fight, because when he won the fight
Mm.
against Chael Sonnen, and he was celebrating with Joe Rogan noticed that the bone of his toe was sticking out,
Mm-hmm.
and that and Jon Jones went to the floor, and there was Keith, correct. There was a compound fracture.
Shit,
It was a
Keith.
compound
Good thing
complex
about you.
fracture because the bone is sticking out, and of course he had that fixed up. Yep, correct. We have Keith Michael, MVP here, with the best comments. It's not close, it's open fracture as well, with a lot of risk for infection as well, because the bone is exposed. Let me
Mm.
jump ahead of that. And what after it got fixed, after it got set back in place, of course it was casted, and he went through the rehab process, but that toe can still stay weak. And to prevent injuries in that same toe, he buddy taped it. uh he buddy taped it to his other toe. As you probably saw that on the thumbnail, that when you grab your toe and the other toe, the second toe, and you tape them together, that's a procedure called buddy taping. And that's usually used in fractures that, like Keith said here, if it was a closed fracture with no displacement is when the bone fragment, if it's a non-displaced fracture, this is the bone it broke and the bone stayed in place. That's when you could body tape the toe and have not and have rest, not have that toe be used a lot. Put you on a boot, maybe put you on crutches, and you'll be okay. In John's case, it was a complex compound fracture, and it was open, so they probably had to reduce that, surgically, and put it in a cast. But now that toe probably is giving him problems when this is a high level guy training wrestling. He's gripping the canvas with his feet. He uses a wrestling heavy technique, and it requires a lot of usage of his foot. So why is he doing the taping? He's doing the taping preemptively, Ale. So there is no injury to his toe. So he's just protecting a toe that was injured years ago. People thought it was a brand new injury. Oh my God, Jon Jones. That's the reason Jon Jones, because you know what do we got to say about Jon Jones' physique coming into this fight? He wasn't lean, mean, and built. There was a little bit of a pooch
A
right
little
here.
bit, a little
I'm
bit.
being
He was
I'm
proud
being
of it.
loving.
And like the first, I mean, okay, you guys, everyone, yes, he's the GOAT. He's great. Oh, your God, Jon Jones destroyed, showed that it made Cyril Gane look like a fool. All you want, but when I saw him show up, take that T-shirt off, the pants rolled, the pant waistline like rolled. It was like my uncle getting like, do you remember
He
Rozier,
had hot.
that guy
You know
from the
how hot
first
girls?
UFC?
Yeah,
Do you remember? I'm gonna. It looked like Rozier there, bro. Like I'm like, what
yeah.
is
Remember?
happening?
You know when hot girls roll their pant to make it in school, the short pants to make them shorter. Jon Jones had that look going on. I mean, I like that. I
It
like I
was
like
great.
I
It
like
was
Messi.
great. But
I like Messi.
okay, back to the toe though, Dajara. This is important because
Mhm.
you've explained it masterfully, right? So thank you for
Mhm.
that. But the truth is that, is there like, is that not allowed? Like, what's the controversy there with the
Yeah,
potential? Because he did say on the press conference after, it's like, oh, I need to tape my toe. If they don't let me tape my toe, I won't fight again. Like he was like being all like, you let me do what I want kind of deal, with
yeah,
that attitude he has or whatever. Um,
yeah,
and all this, by the way, before thanking Jesus Christ and being like the most Christian person there, but then he goes and uh, calls again a pussy, and then says, "So if you don't let me do this, so I won't compete." But hey, but no, but he's like Mister Good Christian. This person, like
yeah,
this person's, I'm gonna say in plural, it's quite something to be, quite a force to be reckoned with. But at the same time, they say like he's an artist, so he's gonna be
yeah.
volatile, chaotic, and eclectic, I guess. But anyway, is this strictly? Does this give him an advantage? Is this like an illegal thing that they could, like take the
I
fight
got
to
the answer
the
for you.
finish or some shit?
I absolutely got the answer. As a ringside physician, I got contact with commissioners from multiple different state commissions where I've worked as a ringside physician, as a doctor for the
Mhm,
past 10 years.
mhm.
If you're familiar to my channel, I am an active ringside physician. I do pro events, I do
Right.
amateur events, so I know the rules very well. And the thing is that the rules vary from state to state. You
Mm.
can wear some protection, but you cannot wear protection that gives you an advantage in grappling. To give you an example, if you tape your foot and your ankle
Sure.
above 2 inches above the ankle, so those long wraps that look like Muay Thai fighters from olden times,
Mhm.
they won't let you do that. In some states, they won't let you use sleeves. In some states, they won't let you use the ankle sleeves in both ankles, because when you cross your ankles over in guard or you're going for a submission, it
Mm.
will allow you to have more grip and get triangles and get all sorts of submissions better. So this is a case by case situation. But in John's
Ah.
case, when you see the thumbnail for this video, you could see that it's just a circle of tape around the big toe and
Right.
around the
Yep.
second toe,
That's
and
right.
that doesn't give him any advantage in any type of submission. It protects the toe from getting fractured. And you could think, if you're going to be really adamant about being, okay, this levels the playing field, because this fighter here is a very heavy grappling and wrestling fighter, and you're giving him a little bit of help to not worry about his toe and his foot, which is injured previously, and he could go hard and he could do all the things that he wants. um if you think about it that way, if you think about it, well, it doesn't give him any advantage in
That's
any
right.
submission move. Yeah.
Correct. That's
Oh,
the
this
thing,
is a
right?
mhm.
At best, it makes him just like, you know, ground level, so to speak, right? It makes him
Yeah,
just able like everyone else by
yeah,
having that extra support. It's not like he's gonna have a magic toe that is gonna submit people with that toe or something.
exactly,
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
so he did have
Yeah,
though. He did have, yeah. I mean, you talked about it already. Like beyond the toe, he had that weird tape, loop around the feet that
Yeah,
that they did make him cut. But I think he said he
yeah,
was like he could try to create a cast or something. He was explaining some giving some explanation in the press conference. Regardless, okay, so then that was legal.
yeah,
He fought. They let him fight, so he fought. Oh, there is a question here, Jared. You may want to answer.
yeah. We have Victor
Victor,
Melendez
thank you, Victor,
asking
for joining.
what state has the strictest policy in terms of what they will allow or not allow in a fight? And that's an easy question. It's New York, the New York State Commission.
New
New
York,
York
New York.
has the craziest, and this guy right here is in New York. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put him out there for
I'm
everybody
so
to
glad.
judge.
Yeah, I will wear my Mets hat. I'm so glad.
New York, but we have the PFL, baby.
What didn't real? Oh
The,
shit!
we got the PFL gear,
Yeah,
baby. That's
yeah.
what's up.
We look like Dumb and Dumber. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna be doing some PFL fights in the next couple of months as a ringside physician, guys. So
Whoa,
stay tuned
shit!
for that. Stay tuned for
Dropping
that.
the big, dropping the big ones. God damn.
Yeah, New York is so ridiculous when
Mhm.
it comes to MMA that they make every single fighter that is going to do a pro fight in New York get a magnetic resonance imaging, an MRI, every year, which is absolutely ridiculous because any promoter that is wanting to compete with the UFC and doesn't have that big cash pocket that Uncle Dana White
Right.
has absolutely no way to mount a card. We're talking about head MRI with contrast. We're looking at maybe in New York, maybe $1,500 to $1,800 per fighter. If you do a 10 fighter fight card, you're paying more than
Yeah.
$20,000 maybe. So it's not a good deal in New York. Can the UFC do it once a year? Absolutely. Once or twice a year, they can do it. There's no problem for them. Can the PFL do it? Maybe. Can Bellator do it? Yeah. But if you have Joe Blow's fight league that they have great new marketing and they have a new niche and they want to come up and create fighters, they can't do it.
Mm,
So
yeah.
that's the problem with New York. So that's the question. So going back to sorry about my allergies. Going back to the toe, I think it's an interesting way to explore the rule set of the states and explore the health of the fighters. When we're talking about what can be a factor, because that could definitely be a factor. And Cyril Gain, I think, was a little bit, um, you know, not ignorant, but he didn't take advantage of that Jon Jones injury. If it's a fighter that has that in mind, I would have went with heavy low kicks to the foot that was taped, maintain distance, maybe foot stomps even to that foot.
Psh, yeah, but first he had to get close to him, and he didn't even have the chance to do
Yeah.
that, bro.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
it's just
Cyril Gain was disappointing. I mean, let's talk about it.
like,
He starts the fight. I mean, and everybody's talking about, Cyril Gain lasted the whole 5 rounds with Francis Ngannou, and it was a back and forth fight. It was a great competitive fight, and Jon Jones made him look like a little kid. So for me, it's Jon Jones is legit. It's the real thing. I believe we said it in the podcast last time.
mhm.
That Jon Jones was going to win and via submission. So we kind of called it exactly as it played out.
I
So
honestly
I
had
mean,
faith. I honestly had faith in Gan, but yeah, no, I don't even know what to
mhm,
say because every and any individual that steps into the octagon has my utmost respect. Is to me a gladiator that deserves it
mhm,
all, and that deserves no shit,
mhm,
no critique, no name or anything. But
mhm.
man, we were bummed out about it. Like, it's just he threw like, two strikes maybe,
Two strikes.
that hit to the crotch, and then a couple of like little jabs or something. It was just
Yeah,
like barely nothing. He didn't even break a sweat.
yeah, yeah.
And
I
then the
agree.
moment Jones took him down or put him against the fence, like he looked like he was like in shock. He had not even like torso motion, like his arms weren't trying to like
Yeah,
just clasp under hooks or do something with his arms to try to prevent him from holding his head and getting choked out. It was
yeah,
just he had no response to a simple takedown. Do you think, Jared, now I'm gonna take
yeah.
advantage of your doctorness. Do you think
Let's do it.
he had a little bit the psychological factor and the fact that it's been it's been like everything has been put together to showcase Jon Jones as the GOAT coming back against this poor guy who is about to receive a beating or a defeat no matter what. That
Yeah,
like did that play an important role in the mind of Gan, not to be fully focused, not to be hopeful, not to be eager and ready to take the fight to his own turf, controlling the distance, using like doing his best. I'm assuming he must have practiced. They were saying that the Dagestanis were being flown to France to help him train the wrestling, the takedowns and the grappling, but we saw nothing of that, or none
yeah,
of that. So do you think the psychological factor was here at play
yeah.
with his romance?
Yeah, a lot of people that analyze fights, a lot of analysts and a lot of trainers, a lot of coaches
Mm-hmm.
that I have spoke with say the same thing. Say that the biggest part of being a successful fighter has to do with the mental aspect of it. Being
Mm,
ready mentally to get in a fist fight in your shorts, shirtless, in front of, however many people are in the show, especially in the
mm,
big show, it's thousands of people seeing you and then millions of people seeing you online. So there is a direct mental effect. John Jones is a guy that knows how to play with this and knows how to play with it in a very subtle way. He's not
mm.
out there like Chael Sonnen making poetry and saying, stupid things like that.
You
No,
suck. How is it? Hey,
exactly. He doesn't,
whatever.
none of that silly stuff. He says it and he meant it. One time he was in an interview with DC, and this is one of the coldest moments in MMA. John Jones says, I want you to know, DC, that every second that you spend training for this fight is an absolute waste of your time. I'm going to embarrass you. I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to take you down and I'm going to submit you
Mean.
and beat you and he said these words and use um, the most malicious techniques that I know on you. And he said it with such a level of, I don't know if that's the right word in English, frankness and earnest. It felt that it came directly, it didn't feel acted, it felt that it came directly from his heart. So John Jones is someone that has a very dangerous weapon, and that is psychological warfare. And Cyril Gain, he has been cool, calm, collected in other fights, in other challenging fights. The Taito Ivasa fight, he was great. With Francis Ngannou, he lost, but he was cool, calm, collected, no problem. And the fights that he has won, he's looked phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But you're facing the probably the pound for pound king, a guy that's known to put damage on people and really make a statement of
Mm-hmm.
beating you. It definitely affected the psychology of Cyril Gain. I mean, and if you guys want to know a little bit more about the psychology of John Jones, I have a podcast with a psychologist on Rockfin talking about that. But years ago.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, I have
Is,
it. I have it.
is that
I'll send you.
available for? Is that
Yeah,
available
I mean,
for free to people?
Rockfin. I think so. I think so. I might be. Let me see. I do know that Rockfin.
Okay, I got you here. What? Okay. All right. Oh shit! Here you are. Yeah. Damn. Oh man.
Yeah,
Uh,
you have to have it. And Junju. Oh yeah, and we have here the pound for pound number one fan of the show here, Danny M, in the house. In the house. Um,
is this post fight clinics episode 5 UFC 247 John Jones and ASPD? Is that one? No.
yeah, that's the one. Can you pull it
Okay.
up in the thing? Can
No, you have it as premium, bro. This is pretty. God damn it, guys! The dog
But
plugging
you
this
see
shit
it.
over here.
You
Yeah,
see it.
yeah,
We
yeah.
can put it in the chat. We can put it in the chat. Put it in the
Okay,
chat
yeah, yeah,
as a
yeah.
line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, 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 sure. The link is right here. Um,
You
okay,
guys should
hold
see it
on.
there, enjoy it, and it's a podcast
But
analyzing John Jones' personality. It's APD, Danny, because he says, is it narcissistic? It's not narcissistic. It's antisocial personality disorder. Um,
yeah, it's not letting me comment on the main chat. So I passed it on to you
okay,
on the
okay,
private
okay,
on the
okay.
private chat, so you can
Oh, perfect,
take a
perfect.
look there. Um,
Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, and there was another one even. I don't think that was the one. I had another
okay,
one with John
for Jon
Jones.
Jones, I just put Jon Jones on the searcher to go faster.
Yeah, I think that might
That's
have
the
been
only
on
video.
YouTube.
That's
Yeah,
it. Okay.
it might have been on this channel. So look around in this channel to in the Octagon Doctor channel. I think that there is a video on John Jones and the personality disorder. I think it's antisocial personality disorder that he has that he displays.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
Dieguito is telling us that he's a case study. Yeah, most definitely, Diego. That Diego, a longtime fan in the Spanish, shout out in the Spanish channel in Dr. Yared vlog, or other YouTube channel. But yeah, he's a case study. He's definitely someone that has a specific set of skills. And I'm not talking about Liam Neeson. He's a very cold individual, very calculating. He's very, which it's understandable how, you know, like Danny here could say, "Hey, is that narcissistic personality disorder?" It seems like it has some traits, but I think it's antisocial because he acts on his impulses, and he likes to harm people, which is part of the sport. But you're fulfilling that need to hurt someone physically within
Hmm.
a sport, and he has no regard for the physical safety of others. When we had that crash with the pregnant, and I don't want to seem like we're doing
Dicey,
a shit
dicey.
fest on John Jones, but
We said it's the
um yeah, he's the goat. He's a great sportsman. But that when we analyze it as a clinician, which I
mm-hmm.
am, you have to look at the signs, the symptoms, the traits that he possesses, and disregard for personal for the public and public property and the law and use of substances. It puts us on an antisocial personality disorder. Actually, I'm gonna pull up antisocial personality disorder traits, and
Good.
we'll see what
Now,
behaviors.
get it. We've seen him with they've presented him to us as a new man. By they I mean the UFC once again, especially on the countdown and the embedded series, which was like a pretty much a, just a Jon Jones special day after day, really, because he was in all the thumbnails. He was the main fighter being featured, and so forth and so on. So it could it be possible that he's changed, that he's a new man, that because he found his Lord and Savior Jesus the Christo, now he is he's just a good family man. Could can this be
Listen to this.
resolved,
Listen
treated?
to this.
Yeah.
Does this sound like John Jones? These are the symptoms of antisocial personality disorder. We
Okay.
have failure to conform to basic social norms, often in ways that violate the law. One,
Mm.
repeated violation of the physical or emotional rights of others. Number two, lack of stability in job and home life. May go through long periods of unemployment, for example,
Yeah.
even in locality situations where jobs are readily available. Irritability and aggression, may get into frequent fights. Lack of remorse after harming someone. Consistent irresponsibility, recklessness, impulsivity, deceitfulness. Those are symptoms of antisocial personality disorder. And those can fit in the personality of John Jones. And now I'm not saying that he's dysfunctional within society. He's a great athlete and he's doing great things. And I am a huge fan. But when we analyze as clinicians, we have to think. Wait, I think Jon Jones may have not even if it's full express antisocial personality disorder. He has a trait. When we have a trait of a psychiatric illness, it means that it's not expressed completely. That is not the ruling a vector of personality in that person. So he could have a trait of antisocial
Okay.
personality disorder, a
At the end of,
syndrome.
all in all, Jared, not to cut it. I mean, if you want to continue talking about this, but
Mhm.
at the
Yeah,
end of the day, like this is observed. This has been duly noted. I
yeah.
guess here in our lives in el octagono. But at the end of the day, who gives a fuck? To be honest, what I care about. No, it's true because what I care about is like I was waiting for fireworks on Saturday
Yeah.
night, bro, and I saw like a firecracker. Pim, that's it. But anyway, oh yeah, I left there, the picture of the
The
tape.
buddy tape.
Yeah, but yeah, no, hey, good for him. The UFC, like Tito Dana, was static. He couldn't be happier in between that and the Mexico, because bro, we're Hispanic folk. We love our Mexicanos forever. Jared is studying Guadalajara, Mexico, part of his.
Let's
Part of his
go. Guarda la
so
raja.
what? Oh, whoa! But damn, Dana was pumped about having three Mexicans because he's been talking about that Mexico PA like for how many months?
For a long, long
Listen, on
time.
every freaking piece of news that whether it's a press conference and whatever it is, he is talking about the PA. And wait until we open the PA in Mexico. Like he thinks he's gonna have like 17 Canelo Alvarez is there waiting for him or something, which it might be true actually. But the main point here is that what a surprise that was, eh? Who
Yeah.
would have? Well, I'm kind of like veering toward that to comment a little bit of that on that co-main event, Jared. Unless you want to say anything else about Jon Jones, I don't want to cut. I don't want to.
No,
I
no, no.
want to. I
Jon
want to
Jones, we
deblog you. I don't want to deblog you, Jared.
no, no, no. It's it's interesting. We mentioned the most important points of Jon Jones. Toe gate. We explained exactly what buddy taping is and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The antisocial personality disorder, which is kind of a theory. We can't say that for sure that is what Jon Jones has, but he exhibits a lot of those traits, so it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely
I guess.
talking about that Valentina Shevchenko fight. We could definitely talk about Valentina. The
Mm,
the interesting thing, and this is the clip. The interesting thing about what happened to Valentina Shevchenko, it underlines the capacity of a fighter to become apex predator, be on top and stay on top. What's the longevity of a female fighter as an apex predator and stay on top? So Ronda
mm,
Rousey had a similar run. She had a couple of years where she was on top. Now Valentina has been champion for a couple of years and has completely dominated. And when you're at that level, it's such very short time. I mean,
mm.
Adesanya has lost. He stayed on top for a couple of years.
Party,
So
Kamaru Usman.
so it seems that capacity to stay on top for a long, long time, has a expiration date. Would you agree with that statement or not?
I mean, if we look at the fight, given the data you just mentioned, meaning the age
Hmm.
of Valentina, especially also coupling that fact, the fight we saw on Saturday, and her age, coupled with the previous fight we saw, in which we already saw a bit of a decline in her ability to overcome the obstacles and to actually amply win the fight against Tayla Santos, even though she broke her face. Um, it certainly looks like Valentina's best years and best fights are now behind her, and what she got is a hopefully nice and steady decline. But we don't know. I think to really, really, really drive this point home, we definitely need to see that rematch. Without that rematch,
Yeah,
because we can always say, well, it was maybe she had a bad night, maybe it could be the case of an Amanda Nunes case esque situation,
yeah,
right? Like Amanda
yeah,
Nunes was surprised, was beaten badly or well. If you look from the side of Juliana Peña, which we do, she was beaten by Juliana Peña, but then on the rematch, she messed Juliana Peña up real
she
good.
assert her
So
dominance.
exactly, she made us ride that train back again. So I mean, I want to keep the benefit a little bit the benefit of the doubt for Valentina. She she was very very respectful in defeat. She evidently was outmatched. She was almost dropped. She was hurt and she was submitted. Also, which who
Yeah,
the who the heck expected? Okay, if in our wildest dreams, remember, I remember mentioning, okay, maybe Alexa could catch her in the first round, second round with a good boxing combination, which is definitely her strength. But man, she actually knew the kind of leg kicks Valentina had in her arsenal, and she waited for that spinning kick, timed it, and came with a takedown and submitted her.
hmm,
That was incredible. Nobody would have predicted that except for maybe her
yeah,
uncle who trains her, because that definitely, I'm sure, definitely they had been watching tape and they had been planning for those Valentina strikes to take advantage of the opportunity. So, I mean, maybe, or I think really that a rematch could help us solidify this narrative, solidify this idea of Valentina being now behind, or being now past her prime. And but if we were only to take what we
yeah.
saw last Saturday night, she certainly seems that father time, papa
Yeah,
tiempo, it's just
yeah,
coming
it's
to collect.
the clock is ticking. I like this comment from Diego. He's like, Valentina
What is
had
what is
a
what is
incredible boom boom.
Okay.
The fight day,
Thank you,
like
Diego.
we say in Brazil, bunda.
Okay. Oh, that is Brazilian now. He just acquired
Bunda,
citizenship
bunda,
overnight.
bunda,
Thank you.
bunda,
Thank you very
bunda,
much.
bunda, bunda,
Oh wait.
bunda.
Okay, Diego. Well, I mean, Diego, I don't know how much her bunda is an indicator of her ability to perform.
Yeah,
I mean, if
bunda.
we look at if we want to open the
It's
conversation,
amazing.
if we took out Tabata Ricci, definitely is an asset. But we're going away on the topic. Point here is that Alexa won fair and squared.
Yeah,
Alexa exhibited
yeah.
wonderful mixed martial arts on her part, and it was really awesome to see. And then once again, it's been said many times, but Mexico, three champs,
Three
three
champs.
freaking champs.
Dana White wanted it. It's great. It's great. We see the changing guard all the time. Like everybody was feeling that Dagestan is going to be the
Ooh,
main producer of talent for the UFC, and it was only a matter of time where Dagestanis would have all the belts. That hasn't happened. I mean, we have Islam Makhachev, is one of the greats at the 155 pounds. He recently got the belt. He defended it against Volkanovski, so he's doing great. He's bona fide champ. But there's no other Dagestani threat. In 205, maybe soon,
who?
with this guy that just lost,
Ankalaev?
lost to Ankalaev. Maybe he can come back and be a serious contender for the belt. But until that time comes, there's there's nobody else
Mm-hmm.
that's close to getting a title. So Mexico has a chance. Mexico has a history of boxers, and it's starting to produce great MMA champions. It has great trainers.
Mm-hmm.
Raul Entram in Entram
Mm-hmm.
Gym. He's creating a movement, just like Greg Jackson created a movement in Albuquerque. He's creating this movement in Mexico, and eventually in a lot of Latin American countries and cities, we'll have great trainers that create a lot of champions. And hopefully, maybe I'll open the Octagon Doctor, Institute in Puerto Rico and create champions there. Who knows?
Well, muchachos, the doc is already thinking about branching out. What the heck?
Yeah,
Okay,
maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Vaz MMA. After Vasquez comes Vaz MMA.
Yeah,
What are we
Vast
talking about?
MMA, the Vast champs.
Champs.
Danny M telling Alexa did so great. It was well deserved, though. I have no doubt that Valentina will bounce back in the future.
Wow,
Yeah,
Danny.
absolutely. I can see a immediate rematch, and Valentina being a little tighter on
Yeah.
her game plan. I mean, when you get to be the champ for as long as she was, look at Kamaru Usman. The same thing. You don't you're not as careful. It's easier to keep the belt than to have the belt.
Mm-hmm.
That's the challenge.
Classic.
And that we have seen that time and time again, especially in 205 after Jon
Mhm.
Jones left 205. There's a revolving door of champs. The same thing has happened in the 155-pound weight class.
Mhm.
So it's crazy.
Yep.
But that's a legit thing that medically we could say, hey, the longevity of a fighter. Maybe when a champion, is at that spot, there could be more focus on performance psychology to keep the belt, because physically you're at the top. It's not about being physically at the top. You're physically at the top. Valentina was in great shape, but that, doing a spinning kick when you're so close, it's a mental lapse. And
Mm,
that's what takes away the belt in champions. And that's what, longtime champions miss on. That's the
mm.
banana peel that they slip on. So, mental, it says bro was in there 2 minutes and had tape on his toe and it's toe
Thank you.
gay.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we're
Yes,
just trying to come
Mike.
up, Mikey, we're
Yeah,
trying to
Mike.
come up with
Thank,
a,
thank you, Mike.
a
Mike,
catchy
we had a
a
meeting. We had a
catchy
meeting
title.
in the Octano headquarters before we started this live. We had a meeting. We didn't want to be salacious. There was just somebody really wanted to push for that little controversial thumbnail. So thank you, Mike, for supporting me. And
Yeah,
by
and if you rewind the live to the very beginning, we do explain I'm a physician, so I explain all the medical terms
yes,
associated to that
okay, Mike,
special type of
watch out,
usage of
Mike.
tape, which is buddy taping. So welcome, Mikey. Stick around if you have any medical questions on UFC
Oh shit.
285.
Or
We got
personal.
your
Hold
back.
on. Or personal. Or personal. Yeah, I won this
Sometimes
life.
hey,
You had
listen
it.
to me.
I
Sometimes
won
I'll
this
answer
life.
medical questions here.
Little by little, this life is gonna have a little bit of a consultation section, okay, in which
Yeah, yeah.
people can bring up
Their
their
medical
worries,
questions.
their queries, their
Yeah.
medical,
If you see
questions.
the blue square below the video that says information from a certified doctor, YouTube has certified me. Of course,
Oh
I'm a
shit!
physician and
It's,
it's certified by
in
YouTube, so you can
case
trust here.
that's right. That's right. In case they didn't get it by the DR, the doctor thing, or the octagon doctor, the doctor part of the name, you actually are a doctor. So
Yeah, so welcome to the channel, Mike. Oh, Mike left. Mike left. Mike.
Mike, come on,
Damn
Mike.
it.
You got upset.
Damn
You
it.
see, got it. Got it.
We
You were
had
like
to.
you were flaunting that title, that diploma, and Mike got upset.
That was too
That's what
much. It
happened.
was too
That's
much.
what happened. He wanted to
It
be a
was too
doctor,
much.
and now he's
We
working
love
in
Mike. We
fucking
love
Home
Mike,
Depot.
and he.
And then so you rubbed him the wrong way. Anyway, got it.
Man, we
Got it.
lost one.
Got it. I just wanted to. I just.
You know what? I love this show more than the Spanish one.
Whoa. Then, guys, just so you know, when we go to the Spanish one, he says he loves the Spanish one more than the English one. Just so you guys know, this guy marries nobody. He marries nobody. No,
You know
but
what?
you love them all. They're your babies, I guess.
I love them all.
Our
Can we
babies.
love more than one show?
I think
Am
so.
I poly show amorous?
Very
Maybe.
polyamorous. I think polyamorosity is something. It's a topic I discuss from time to time with the people that matters to me. So I think yeah, it could be done. Yeah, it sure could be done. This pod is
I don't know about that, bro.
yeah.
It takes away your mana. It takes away your mana and your.
Wow, the dog becomes esoteric. He takes away your mana.
Yeah,
Okay.
it takes away. I've done it.
Whoa.
It weakens me. As a younger man right now, as a younger man,
Vale.
right now, no,
All right.
it is what it is.
All right. Before we wrap it, let's just talk a tiny bit about a very very nice interesting cause we have on this Saturday. No.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like to let me put it up here because I have a
Put it up. Put it up. What's going
because
on?
what
are you gonna bring up?
It's actually kind of like 2-in-1. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed because they recently changed it. This was I looked a few days ago when I wasn't there, but now it is that the previous main event of the previous Fight Night card before last weekend's event, it was the Krylov span, and it didn't happen because Krylov had some sort of like intoxication. He had some sort of stomach issue that prevented him from leaving the toilet for days or something. So he so they I guess they just arranged it, and they are fighting catch weight in the up and coming fight. Sorry, I'm just trying to share this crap and it's not letting me. I think you only have powers to do it. Oh wait, hold on. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, but I can't see it.
You see it?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
Good. So I was saying, yeah. So they arranged it, and guess what? not even co-main, but they just kind of downgraded them a little because it's also a catchweight bout. But Nikita Krylov and Ryan Spann, we are actually want to be able to see that fight this Saturday. And it was a fight I was looking forward to watch. I think it was a great matchup. We talked about it already 2 weeks ago, so I guess we're not going to repeat ourselves too much. But very interesting fight, and also a nice fight to get some clearance on the division. So I'm looking forward to it. On top of that, of course, we have a very interesting match for the matchup for the main fight, for the main event: Peter Yang and Merab Valishvili. And then the co-main, Alexander Volkov against Alexander Romanov, amongst former Soviet Union folk, is the game going. And what else do we have here? And we have the Nurmagomedovs, by the way. We have both the good one and the not so good one. We have Said right here. You see, it's Jonathan Martinez. Not looking too good for Jonathan Martinez. And then down the bottom, over here, we have Abu Bakar. We have him here against Carlston Harris from Guyana. I don't have him in my radar. I don't even know anything on Carlston.
Yeah, he's a generic fighter.
Well, maximum respect to Carlston, nevertheless. But yeah.
No disrespect.
No disrespect.
I might see him. I might see.
Also, buried down in the prelims, we have a Rafael Asuncao over here.
Classic Davy Grant, which wings great shots.
Yeah.
But
but yeah, just real quick, how do you see? Let's talk about the top fights up here on the UFC Fight Night that's coming up this Saturday. How do you see the main event? How do you see the Peter Yang versus Merab?
Peter Yang's a great fighter. Merab Valishvili is an unrelenting wrestler. He can be hit. I don't have faith in Peter Yan's abilities anymore. He's still a great fighter.
Okay.
I don't trust that he is championship level. That's a better way of rephrasing it. And I don't think Merab Valishvili could be, but the way he fights and puts people down on the mat, he's a great wrestler. He could very well do that to Peter Yan. If Aljamain Sterling did that to Peter Yan, Merab Valishvili can. And I don't think that Peter Yan, his power, it hasn't translated. He couldn't put down a very streaking Sean O'Malley. So I don't think that we have that trust in him. Is he a great fighter? Absolutely. He's a great fighter. He's a damn good fighter. But from his last performances, we haven't seen great power. We haven't seen great penetration in the pocket. We haven't seen great knockout shots. So I think Merab is going to be able to squeak maybe a split decision fight or a unanimous decision fight against Peter Yan, and I think we see Peter Yan slide out of the top 5, maybe.
Wow, really? Yeah, damn. Okay, well, I mean, that's a hot take. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think for what it's worth, that this fight it's pretty even. I don't know. I mean, I don't see Merab. We've seen him, especially in his last few fights, because I was watching tape. Let me use the term here. I was watching tape because I'm trying to transition, from casual to hardcore. I'm in the transition moment, so respect. I was born a hardcore, but I've been in the body of a casual for way too long, So so the thing is that I was watching tape. I only had watched the last few fights of Merab. So I was watching his early on fights. I had watched more of Peter Yang, and Merab went from being a reckless, knuckleheadish fighter to being a very, very I'm gonna say smart, but a fighter that knows how to win a decision. Let me put it that way. And he certainly has climbed to the top of the division by doing just that. Yeah, if you look at his resume, sorry, he's won what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights in a row, and out of those 8 fights, only one against Marlon Moraes was a TKO. In a fight that he was almost put down. I was watching it earlier. Marlon Moraes threw everything at him and got him He had
Yep.
him on the first, almost out, but the guy has a head that must be made out of tungsten or something.
It's shaped
He
like a block.
It's certainly shaped like a block. I don't know what it's beyond the skin, but the thing is that the guy knows how to win a decision. He has outstanding wrestling ability. He doesn't do a lot with his wrestling. You don't see him trying attempt for submissions. It's more like a controller, classic Eastern European fighter, right? That he tries to control and tire his opponent, being on top of him, and then whenever he has a little opening, he tries to push his ground and pound, and that seems to be a great strategy for him. That's been working out. It worked greatly in in the last few fights. He was working great against Ricky Simon. I saw that fight, and he kind of did committed a mistake, and then in a fight he was winning and got submitted, but he was doing real well both on the feet and on the canvas. And the guy is definitely gonna go use his his wrestling to the match. He actually, yeah, that I was reading about him. You know that he
Hmm.
started training in traditional Georgian wrestling called Chidaoba and
Whoa. What the
Kiridoli.
hell is that?
It's traditional Georgian wrestling, apparently. So this guy's a born and bred wrestler. Also, though, black belt in judo. So
Hmm.
all all focused on the grappling department, even
Yeah,
though he
it's
can
it's.
throw.
I mean, we can see it when he fights. He's a guy that he wants to put people in the ground, control them,
Hmm.
and get he gets to that half guard and attacks from the half guard, just like Jon Jones. Um, he gets to the half guard. He's not passing.
Yep.
When we see, I was in fights this past weekend, the Combat Night fight, which is a great promotion here in Orlando, one of the biggest ones, pro and amateur, and we see those fighters and they're scrambling to get better positions and mount. When you see a seasoned guy, he'll ride that half guard and make that and give damage to his opponent. And I think that's what Merab Dvalishvili is gonna do. I
Of
think, I
course.
think, I think, I think, I think he wins a decision. I'm pretty sure about it.
Especially because Peter Jan is a true striker. All in all, he's a
Yeah.
boxer, I think, by trade. Let me see what
No,
his
and listen to
qualifies.
this part. Listen to this
Oh,
part.
he's master of.
People,
Oh yeah. Hmm.
people have lost the fear of Peter Yan. Once you lose to Sean O'Malley, people lose that and I don't want to seem like I'm pooping on Sean O'Malley. I'm not.
Okay.
But that fear of Peter Yan when he was wrecking Jose Aldo, when he was getting knockouts left and right, when he was
Mm.
putting people down, I
Yeah.
don't
No
think it's
mercy. No
there
mercy.
anymore. I don't think it's there anymore.
Wow. Well, I mean, I guess we'll
Yeah.
get the answer on Saturday. I think he's
Yeah.
got a shot. I think if he hurts or manages to hurt Valishvili, may have a chance to TKO him, maybe. But the truth is that if I had to go for one, I'm gonna be on your side, and I think Merab is gonna be able to take a decision, especially because Peter Nayan has been hesitant, as you put it, in the last couple of fights. Not that Merab is like the most daring fighter, but he will be cautious and mental, and he'll be able he'll be looking for that outpointing him and to get a decision. So I'm with you. I think he'll win with that decision.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, I think that fight card is going to be very, very interesting. We
I
got
think so.
Volkov, we had Romanov,
I really want to see
we
this
got
one too. Yeah, this is Romanov. This could be Juan Espino. Yeah, if we all know, because remember this Romanov fella is the guy. Is the last guy, the Spanish fighter that Juan El Guapo Espino fought. He
and beat and
won.
was beating.
He was beating him like pretty clear, but the guy um decided he expressed his inability to continue after a low blow, and then Juan Espino got disqualified, and this guy got the win. Ever since, we have not seen Juan Espino fight. And then Romanov,
Yeah.
ranked number 13. Okay,
Yeah.
I wonder why.
And I
And
don't
then
think
he's
I
there.
don't think Espino is going to come back. I think he's having problems with injuries. I don't know if it's
That's
knees
right.
or lower back. I think it's knees.
Hmm.
His knees are shut after years and years of wrestling.
Hmm.
So, and I have Wilfredo from Royalty Combat. He's a good friend. He's friends with Espino
He
and with
is.
Frank Montiel,
Ooh.
uh, which is a promoter in Spain,
Hmm.
where you're from, and
I'm from there.
the kind of the T or the the what the grapevine says is
Mhm.
that there's a good chance that he's not back, you know,
Ever.
after these injuries. So
He's
we
also
love Juan
40.
Espino
Yeah,
here.
he's also
Yeah,
40, right? So,
you know what? I don't see age. I'm 45.
well, I mean, but we
I'm
shouldn't we can't
45 and I'm
yeah,
fresh.
but you're not professional cage fighter either. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
well,
I mean,
I'm
I don't know.
I'm a cage fighting doctor.
Well,
That
it's
that third
basically the same.
word.
Basically the same in terms of physicality. You basically need the same skills. You're right. You're
I
right.
mean, I could probably fight with a drunk guy and get a couple great shots in.
Get it. I think.
I could definitely fight with a couple podcasters and end them
Vamos,
and
vamos,
grapple just just grappling because I
guys,
don't
guys. You heard it. You heard it. Spread the word. The dog is challenging people on the internet. What is the Jake Paul? Jake Paul
no,
isn't he
no,
transitioning
no,
to
no.
MMA? Come on, Yared. I think you can
I,
take
I
Jake
would
Paul.
never I would
Yared,
never do that. I would
I think
never
you
do
can
that.
take. Yared, I think you can take Jake Paul. I just want you to consider. I just want to marinate over it, live
No,
on it,
man. Jake Paul would
consult
knock me
with the
out
right people.
in one round.
Yared. Well, hold on. MMA.
Oh,
MMA.
grappling is a
PFL.
different thing,
PFL. No, remember. A few weeks ago, he signed for the PFL, didn't he?
Oh, I would be knocked out easy, easy,
I don't know, Yared. I have
in
faith in
one
you.
round, faster than Ben Askren. I mean, I could run around the ring and get a couple minutes
Yared.
in.
Right.
Maybe a low kick.
Just,
I could let.
just damage that ugly calf of his, and then boom,
Yeah,
grabbing and
and then
submission.
probably get tagged.
And you're a
And
doctor, you know the weak points of the human body. So it's all you got a lot of advantages going on for you. Okay,
yeah, I'll punch him in the nuts a couple times and get get that
yeah,
guy
because that's allowed in the PFL. Everyone,
and lose by disqualification. I mean, for sure,
wow, bad
for
boy.
sure.
Anyway,
So
get it?
so yes,
We
that's
have
the live stream today.
our Spanish folks waiting for us, guys, because we were late today because of some technical difficulties. We're working on bringing something better and bigger for you all. So stay tuned
Yeah,
for that. And
it was
yeah,
great. We had a couple people here, almost 10.
oh shit,
For
Flint,
me,
it's
this is Dr. Yared Vasquez. This is young Alejandro de la Sen. And that's it for today.